Daf Yomi, tractate Bava Batra, page 23b, top of the page with a new Mishnah, Nipol Hanimtza Bitzo Chamishimama. With regard to a dove chick that was found within 50 cubits of a dovecote, it belongs to the owner of the dovecote. If it was found beyond 50 cubits from a dovecote, it belongs to its finder. In a case where it was found between two dovecotes, if it was close to this one, it belongs to the owner of this dovecote. If it was close to that one, it belongs to the owner of that dovecote. If it was half and half, equidistant from the two dovecotes, the two owners divide the value of the chick. The Talmud says, Rabbi Chanina says, when resolving an uncertainty with regard to the halakhic status of an item, for example, a found item, if the status of the majority of like items indicates that it has one status, but the item in question is proximate to a source that indicates otherwise, one follows the majority. And even though the halakha majority applies by Torah law, and the halakha of proximity also applies by Torah law, even so the majority is preferable. Rav Zev raises an objection from the Torah statement with regard to a murder victim, where the identity of a murderer is unknown. This is the part of the Egla In a case of this kind, the court measures the distances between the corpse and the nearby towns in order to determine which town is closest and must consequently perform the rite of the heifer whose neck is broken, the Egla Arufa. Shall break the heifer's neck, as it says. The verse states, and it shall be that the city that is nearest to the slain man, the elders of that city shall take a heifer of the herd and shall break the heifer's neck. Deuteronomy 21, 3-4. And this town is chosen, even though there might be another town that is larger in population than it. According to Rabbi Chanina, in a case of this kind, one should follow the majority. The Gemara answers, the verse is referring to a situation where there is no other town that is larger than that one. The Gemara asks, and still, if one follows the majority, why should the court follow the closest city? Let us follow the majority of the world, as most people are found elsewhere. The Gemara answers, it is referring to a case where the city sits in isolation between the mountains, and therefore it is unlikely that the murderer arrived from elsewhere. The Gemara continues to discuss the issue of majority as opposed to proximity. We learn in the Mishnah with regard to a dove chick that was found within 50 cubits of a dovecote, it belongs to the owner of the dovecote. And if the Mishnah does not make a distinction between different cases, it indicates that this is the halakha, even though there is another dovecote that is larger than the proximate one in terms of number of birds. This shows that closeness, not majority, is the determining factor. The Gemara answers, this is referring to a case where there is no other dovecote in the area. The Gemara asks, if so, say the latter clause of the Mishnah. If so, say the latter clause of the Mishnah. If it was found beyond 50 cubits from a dovecote, it belongs to its finder, and if there is no other dovecote in the area, it certainly fell from that dovecote. How then can it be given to the finder? The Gemara answers, with what are we dealing here? We are dealing with a chick that hops from one place but does not yet fly. As Rav Ukva Bar Chama says, with regard to any creature that hops, it does not hop more than 50 cubits. Consequently, any bird formed within 50 cubits of a dovecote is assumed to have come from there. If it's first away from that, it likely came from elsewhere or was dropped by travelers. Boy Rav Yirmiyah, Rav Yirmiyah asks a dilemma. If one leg of the chick was within 50 cubits of the dovecote, and one leg was beyond 50 cubits, what is the halacha? The Gemara comments, and it was for this opinion that this far-fetched scenario that they removed Rabbi Yirmiyah from the study hall as he was apparently wasting the sage's time. And it was for this question so Rabbi Yirmiyah asked a question, if one leg of the chick was within 50 cubits of the dovecote and one leg was beyond 50 cubits, what's the halacha? The Gemara comments, and it was for this question that they removed Rabbi Yirmiyah from the study hall as he was apparently wasting the sage's time. Okay, this is a great source. The Gemara further suggests, comment here, the Mishnah, in a case where it was found between two dovecotes, and if it was close to this one, it belongs to the owner of this dovecote. If it belongs to that one, it belongs to the owner of that dovecote. The Gemara comments, and this is the halacha, even though one of them is greater in number of birds than the other. Apparently one rules based on proximity, not majority. The Gemara explains, with what we're dealing here, we are dealing with a situation where the two dovecotes are equal in size. The Gemara asks, but even so, why should one follow the closer dovecote? Let us follow the majority of the world, as there are many other dovecotes besides there, and the number of doves they contain is greater. The Gemara responds, what are we dealing with here? Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote.